Hi Aerial Yogis, I'm Camille and welcome back to my CamiyogAIR Aerial Yoga channel. So guys, today we will focus more on hip and chest openers, and this class is created more for intermediate to advanced students as it involves more complex poses, more deeper back bends and deeper stretches through the hips and legs. So if you are new quite for aerial but still want to give it a go for this class, so be mindful and go through the poses mindfully to not overstrain. And as always, if you want to deepen your aerial yoga knowledge with my courses, all of this down below in the link. Other than that, let's get started. So first of all, just make sure that your silk is just by your hips. It's approximately higher or lower a little bit, it's fine. And let's start with slight warm-up before continuing with our today's flow. So first of all, after warm-up, we will go slowly through the poses, and then as always, one breath, one movement together in continuous sequence. Okay, so bring yourself behind your back and just lean into it. Let's meet in a chair pose. Just relax, release your hips, your pelvis area as we start with the cat-cows to warm up the back and core muscles. So just lean your arms against the silk butt, just relaxing. So let's breathe in and look up to the ceiling. Exhale and look to your belly as you tuck your belly inwards, tuck your pelvis and look to your belly button. Again, breathe in, open your chest, slightly press the silk forward as your tailbone reaches backward. Exhale and squeeze everything in, round into little ball. So a few more like that. Let's breathe in and open up, slightly pressing the silk to open even deeper. Exhale and squeeze your glutes, your core, and round your back. And last one, let's breathe in, open, and breathe out, closing inwards. Okay, and let's meet in neutral position and slightly let's stretch laterally through the side body. So just relax your elbows by your ears, look up, and just lean from side to side on your own tempo, on your own rhythm, together with your breath. So just keep on breathing slowly, deeply. And as you bend through the side, try to reach your side body, your ribcage, towards the knee. So don't let your legs relax completely. Keep your knees pointing forwards, that we would feel actually that C shape through your waistline while opening the other side of the body through the ribcage, through the waist, and of course stretching through the back. So just a few moments. And then let's meet in the middle. Okay, so just grab the silk, step back into standing position, silk in front. And then here we will start today our flow for hips and chest. So let's start, I will mirror you. So let's start with the right leg in the silk. Just slightly spread the silk along your thigh that it won't squeeze as much, but closer to the knee rather than the groins. And make sure you is somewhere in between the silk, not on a side, as we will start dynamically moving through the hips, warming them up by shifting the weight forth and back. So point your foot downwards or flex it, just don't release it completely, okay? We want active engagement through the whole bottom body. So just decide which ones you want. I will turn to your side that you would see more clearly. Okay, so let's hold the silk just along somewhere shoulder line. Breathe in and breathing out, just pressing all the way forward and downwards. And here we want that full release into the hips. So let your hip open freely. Later on we will do opposite, but for now just warming up, releasing the hip flexors and stretching through the inner thighs. And as you move, make sure that the bottom leg is still firm. We're not collapsing completely into the pose. We're still holding the leg straight and pressing from your tiptoes to feel that extension through the whole leg while opening and stretching through the hips. So just a few more like that before we will Continue with the balance pose. So last one. Okay, so now let's meet in neutral, and this time let's start for pointing up. So lift up on your tiptoes. And now we want the hips to be squared. So we're doing a little bit opposite. We're turning this left hip inwards and leaving it like that, locking it. And then try to lean as much as you can, but holding the hips square. So that means we won't lean as much. We won't put so much weight, shift that much weight forward as we're locking the hips, right? So it should be somewhere in the middle rather than we did before. And keep pointing this time rather than forwards, we're going more upwards. So keep pressing from your toes, heel up as much as you can to stretch through the ankle, strengthening the knee, engaging the whole thighs and whole pelvis area. And now just slightly lean back, feel the core engagement through all abdominal area. And inhaling, sliding your arms up, focus on one point. Once you feel comfortable and quite in balance, then bring your arms along your ears, not touching the silk, and keep balancing here. Once you feel quite comfortable and firm in this position, perhaps try to add more challenge by closing your eyes, or maybe lifting your head and looking up the ceiling. So we just, whichever, we always want to give more challenge for the body, that to engage more little muscles in the core, in the hip area, so activating everything. So just a few more breaths, just keep on breathing. Last breath in. Breathing out, grab the silk and let's slide all the way down on your left knee. Okay, as we will enter into this kind of like low lunge combined together with that camel position. So we are already opening deeply through the head, but let's add the chest, okay? So let's opening the heart center. Let's just slide down with the hands just by your knees, so that your shoulders be relaxed. And now breathe in, lift your left arm up, and exhaling, leaning back and reaching for that back heel. Now, if it's too low and you can't reach it for it, it's fine. Just lift your back foot on toes, and then the heel will be easier perhaps to reach. And then just try to turn your chest upwards of the ceiling, looking up. Keep your neck active. Don't release it completely as we want that extension through it, and don't lock it. So just a little bit more, lifting your chest while pressing your hips forwards. 2 breaths. Last breath in. And breathe out. Okay, let's breathe in and come up. And now let's do the twist into that camel. So you can leave your heel still up, or if it's comfortable, you can release your foot. So now this time, let's breathe in and lift the opposite arm, which is your right. And exhaling, leaning back into the twist. This time, look to the bottom foot behind your back. So full twist, or perhaps your heel up for modification, or releasing. Or who wants more challenge, maybe even on the floor. Just a little bit more. Just keep pressing your hips forwards. Last breath in. Breathing out. Okay, and with a breath in, let's come up. This time, let's stretch through the leg and hips. So now press that silk all the way to your ankle. If that's not available and the silk perhaps a little bit too high, you can of course always lower your silk. But if you're already here, so you can just slightly, how much as you can, press the silk forward. It's fine if it's somewhere by the shin, completely good. So just keep trying to straightening your leg. It doesn't matter if it looks something like that. Keep your foot flexed. If it's possible, you will slide it towards the ankle. And breathing in, breathing out, a little bit lengthening and leaning forward as much as you can as well. So just to your comfort. And wherever you are, just relax your shoulders and keep breathing. Perhaps you will feel that your body releases and you can lean even more. Two more breaths. Last one. Okay, and breathing in, coming up, relaxing your arms, leaving the leg as it is, as now we will enter into wild thing. So let's come up with the left arm up, as we did similarly to camel, and leaning back on your heel, maybe on the floor, but this time the right arm reaches as well to open up into full, as we opening through the whole front of the body, through the hips as well as the chest, so complex pose. Reach behind your back, leg forwards, hips up as well as your chest. One more breath in, breathing out, and we're moving to compass. So turn your foot inwards to sit on your one of the buttocks. And if you feel that you can't reach for the silk and you're collapsing, that's fine. Just leave your left palm on the floor and keep on leaning towards that extended leg, okay? And just stay here. You will feel the stretch along your leg, hips, and the side body. But if you are ready, you can enter full compass pose, where your left arm reaches for the silk and the right arm lowers down, and then you're turning the whole torso upwards, looking through the left side of the body to the ceiling, into full compass. So wherever you are, 2 breaths. Last one. And let's release back into the wild thing, just as a transition. So breathing in and opening, breathing out and coming up. And now bend your knees, and we will transition to the floating camel through the swing position. So lean back, slide your arms down to create the space, and bring the other leg inside into the swing position. But that's not yet. The end, we're sliding with the hips forwards while lifting the chest up to hook on your shoulder blades on your chest. Look up, and if it's possible, try to catch your ankles or feet and keep kicking back through your back to full camel. Looking upwards. Don't worry if you can't catch your feet, maybe one at a time. And let's release all the way down to the floor. Grab the silk and slide all the way down into that child's position and swing from side to side before we change the sides. Relax your neck. Deep breathing. Okay, and let's come up onto your knees and then standing all the way up. Okay, guys, so now let's continue with the other side. And just remember, be mindful, don't overstrain yourself, just listen to your body, okay? So let's bring the left thigh into the silk. Adjust the silk. If it's too narrow, just broaden it, that it won't squeeze less. Okay, so I will turn again to the side, okay? That you would see me clearly. You don't need to turn, just keep facing forward. So first of all, just shifting forth and back to move more for the other side of the hips. So activate your foot, breathe in, breathing out, and pressing all the way forwards and down. This time our direction is more downwards, okay? So exhaling, inhaling, coming back. Just keep in mind that your back leg is not collapsing, it's engaged throughout all the muscles and especially the foot. So continue lifting your heel as much as you can up and pressing forwards and down. Just feel that stretch through the groins, hip flexors, inner thighs. Okay, and the last one. Now coming back, we will continue with the balance. So first of all, lift on your toes. Feel that strongly, everything active through your ankle, through your knee, glutes, everything inwards. Then let's press butt, keeping our right hip locked. So keep turning it forwards. We're leaning forwards as well, but not as much as previously, okay? And now slightly press yourself back, draw it back, Okay, so hold your core. Inhaling and sliding your silk up. Exhaling, arms by your ears. Find the balance, focus on one point. And once you feel stable, perhaps close your eyes by adding more challenge, or maybe lifting your head up and looking up the ceiling, or whichever. Maybe you will still keep your eyes open and looking forward. Whichever, just always giving more challenge to your body. Keep reaching up, just slightly more, and keep breathing. Last breath in. Okay, and breathing out, grab the silk. Let's shift back. And this time, let's lower all the way down on your right knee. So just to make your knee comfortable. Okay, so let's move on with the camel position through the hips and opening through the chest. So make sure your hands just by your knees and not too somewhere high over your head. Okay, so just here. And now inhaling and lifting your right arm up, exhaling and reaching for that back foot. Maybe if it's too low, just lift on your toes to reach your heel. Maybe on your heel. If it's available and comfortable, you can put your arm on the floor. And just check that you're not collapsing downwards. Our direction is forward to open up through the front of the body, looking up the ceiling. So check that your neck would be active and elongated. Just a little bit more. Full breath in. And breathing out. Let's come up, inhale. And exhaling, opposite arm is reaching for the foot into the twist. And this time we're looking behind the back to the right foot on the floor. Still reaching your hips forward, chest up, and twisting. Perhaps the arm on the floor, maybe on a heel. Last breath in. Breathing out, and let's come up. And that a little bit more challenging pose where we sliding the silk all the way to the ankles. So as I mentioned before, if it's not available, don't worry about it. Just make sure that the silk as much as you can pressed forward, and then again actively straightening your leg, holding the silk. That's fine. If it's available, try to press it all the way to the foot. Okay, foot flexed, and breathing in, breathing out, and layering your belly towards the thigh and elongating your spine forwards to not collapse on the round. Okay, so always less is more. As you breathe out, that's when we want to a little bit lengthen and press it forwards. Feeling that stretch through the hamstrings, along the calves and ankle. Last breath in, breathing out. Okay, and let's come up into neutral, and let's continue with the wild thing. So one more time, breathe in, lift your right arm up, exhaling either on the heel, either on the floor, and the left arm reaches behind your back into full opening through the front of the body, through the hips, chest, feeling the stretch through the abdominals. Last breath in. And as you breathe out, turn your foot inwards as we're sitting all the way down on the floor, preparing for the compass pose to stretch through the inner thighs, hips, and the side body. So if you feel you're collapsing, you can't reach for the silks, you just keep your right arm on the floor and slightly press it towards the left side, okay? If it's available, find the silk with the right arm and the left arm just resting on the opposite foot. And try to turn the whole torso upwards, looking at the ceiling through your inner arm. 2 big breaths. Last one. Okay, and let's meet all the way down on the floor and continue again through the wild thing, but this time as a transition. So make sure your right palm is firmly on the floor as we're lifting with the left arm up, turning the foot backwards and opening, and exhaling, finding the sill, bending your knee, and transitioning through the swing to the floating camel. So lean back, slide down to create a space for the other leg, and exhale, drop it onto your shoulder blades, perhaps catching one of the foot, maybe both, maybe leaving your arms up and just actively reaching your legs backwards. One more breath in, and breathing out, let's release into the child's pose. Just slide through the silk, arms automatically will wrap in. Relax your neck, release into your shoulders to stretch them passively, and perhaps swinging from side to side. Okay, and let's come up. And as I mentioned, now since you more or less know the flow, let's continue with the one breath, one movement. Okay, so silk in front, and let's move first of all through the right side. So right thigh inside the silk. This time we won't do repetition, we won't hold the poses as long, so just in and out. Okay, so focus. And if you feel that you're still not familiar with the sequence and it's too fast, just perhaps replay the whole video backwards and try it one more time, okay? But let's give it a go. Okay, so breathe in and breathing out, leaning forwards, fully opening through the hips. Breathe in, coming back, lift on your toes, and exhale, lean slightly forwards as you extending your arms along your ears. Find the silk, breathe in, breathing out and sliding all the way down on your knee as we enter in camel. Breathe in and lifting your left arm up, exhaling and reaching for the back foot, looking up the ceiling, breathing in and breathing out. Let's twist to the camel. Breathing in, come in, exhale and slide your silk forwards as you're leaning forwards as well. And inhaling, reaching for your left palm. This time, right arm also reaches backwards into wild thing. And exhaling, turning your foot inwards. Breathing in, reaching for the silk. Exhaling, twist torso to the side, looking through the left side upwards. And exhaling, release, breathing in into wild thing, opening up. Exhaling, finding the silk, bend your knee, lean back. Breathing in into the swing, exhale, hook yourself into the flying camel. Breathe in here, and let's breathe out, release into the child's pose. Okay, so let's come up and let's continue on the left side. So left thigh inside the silk, adjust it. Prepare yourself, find your middle. Activate your foot, and let's start. Breathe in, breathing out, lean forward as much as you can. Breathing in, coming up, exhaling, lifting on your toes, and lean a little bit forwards, this time locking your hips. And breathe in, along your ears, with your arms all the way up. Exhale, find the silk, slide all the way down on your knee as we entering camel position. So breathe in and here, open through your chest and hips. Exhale, find the silk, and let's twist with the other arm into the twisting camel. Breathing and coming up. Exhale, press the silk as much as you can forwards and lean towards your leg. Breathe in and open into the wild thing with the arm reaching behind your back. Exhale, turn your foot inwards and lower on your floor. Breathe in, find the silk, and exhaling, twisting through the torso, opening through the side butt, looking up. releasing on the floor and breathing in, opening back into a wild swing. Exhaling, find the sill, bend your knee and lean back. Breathe in and find yourself into swing. Exhale, slide all the way into floating camel, finding the 1 foot or both. Breathing in here and breathing out. Let's release into child's position. Slightly swinging to call cool down. And coming up. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this little mini flow that can work as a practice itself. Maybe you will add later on some of the tricks that I have, trick tutorials, maybe other classes. Or maybe you just want to relax now in Shavasana, which is also fine to get everything, all the information, everything what we move through the body, energetic body, to sink in. So if you enjoyed this class, just you know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment down below, or let me know how you felt after this flow, what you find maybe challenging, what was for you very easy and pleasant. And other than that, I see you in my other classes, courses, you name it. Bye.